Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. Please listen to this presentation as you would a radio broadcast. Had an online meeting that's been cancelled, so you get to get me bothering and pestering you if you get another video today. Okay, this one gets annoys me and irritates me. It's been going on for a bit, but there's the story of William or Wilhelm. It's like a sort of Central European, Swiss, Austrian, German type folk tale set in the 1300s. It was turned into like a classic sort of story novel in I think the late 1700s or early 1800s. But the story, the tale, has been around for a while. And it's supposed to have some basis in fact, but I don't know how much. But I think it's as much fact as it is myth as time went on over the years and the retelling of the story. But it goes like this. In Switzerland, which wasn't a nation state at the time, and it was being occupied, part of it was being occupied by the wider or greater Austrian Empire, which is German speaking, and so the part of Switzerland that was German speaking was kind of semi-absorbed, I suppose, into the Austrian Empire and was being taxed. Now, in the wider scheme of things, there was a lot of the Crusades and the Holy Wars in the Middle East and all that sort of stuff. So the Austrians were underwriting that and making a large contribution to the expense of these things. And so they were sort of quite eagerly looking for taxes, and those taxes in the form of money or crop seizures or levying land taxes on the citizens of this part of Switzerland. And it was arbitrary, unfair and unjust. And so a local folk hero arose who opposed the Austrians and led a band of hardy folks to oppose them. And that was Willlam Tell, Willem Tell. And so he was an expert marksman with the crossbow. And for those who aren't familiar with the crossbow, it was a bow that shot a metal bolt and which could penetrate armor. It was actually caused a lot of angst and carry on at the time. It was a new technology, sort of in the realms, if you like, of sort of the nuclear bomb or something like that. It was because previously knights wearing armor had been more or less impervious to arrows and a whole lot of things. But this bolt meant that this crossbow bolt meant that all changed, because the bolt could penetrate armor, or the armor had to be so heavy and thick that only the sturdiest folk could wear it, and only the sturdiest horses could carry it. It was so heavy. So the crossbow, and Willam Tell was a marksman, supposedly a marksman with the crossbow. Anyway, he was captured by the Austrian sort of appointed. It was referred to generically as a Landberger. You could call it a governor or a local administrator. So he was caught by Landberger Gessler, and who also had caught his son, who I hope in the retelling is white, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's black or gay or something. But anyway, the son, the deal was this, that at 100 paces or 200 paces, whatever it was. So the governor said, well, you're a sharpshooter, so with the crossbow, so I'm going to put an apple on your son's head, and if you shoot that apple off his head without harming the son, of course, if you shoot the apple off his head, then you can go free. You and your son can go home, and and so on. But if you refuse to do it, then you'll both die, or you'll be thrown in prison forever, this sort of thing. So Willam Tell, as the myth goes, lines up the big 200 paces and he shoots the apple off the kid's head, and off they go. So this was the big sort of the central part, if you like, of the Willam Tell myth. Now the angst that the problem that the local Swiss had was that they were being heavily taxed. And if they couldn't pay the tax, their crops or their animals were being seized. So quite clearly, they had justification for being, feeling hard done by, and their representations to the Austrian government didn't work. So they resorted to you know, I don't know, what would you call it, guerrilla warfare and, you know, that type of thing to prevent the privations being forced upon them. Now, but in the retelling, they now decided to retell. Now it's actually a good story, so you could actually really do something with it and turn into a great story that, you know, good against evil, you know, all this sort of stuff, and you could have the crowds, I think, flocking to a movie like this if you stuck to the story. But will they stick to the story? Absolutely not. It has to be redone to satisfy a modern audience. So Willam Tell's, I mean, it's medieval fucking Europe, for Christ's sake. So his white wife from a medieval European Swiss chick, his white wife gone. It's an Arabic chick. They've decided to insert it. So he's got this brown chick as his wife. Don't know about the son. I couldn't find any info on that. Now there's a local sort of Swiss aristocrat that helps Willam Tell and fights alongside him, and, you know, these sorts of things. He's gone. No, out goes that. He's now got a 100-pound girl boss, who's some skinny little girl boss chick who, by the way, is kick-ass. I mean, she, even though she's just been brought up as a, you know, a local aristocrat, that doesn't matter. Guys who've been fighting, you know, 250-pound muscled up guys who've been warriors fighting all their lives, you know, in the Crusades and elsewhere around the place as mercenaries, they are no match for this 100-pound chick. She kicks ass. I mean, she just goes through her. I mean, she doesn't even break a sweat. She kicks the shit out of these guys. And now, and what a girl boss. I mean, seriously. And so she sort of replaced the guy, the white guy, Swiss guy is there. Now in the village scenes, the white people of what you would expect in a European rural medieval village, when they're all going to be fucking white. No, they've gone. We've got blacks, we've got Asians, we've got brown people, we've got Indians, we've got the whole 9 yards there. I mean, and who would want a scene full of damn fascist Nazi, Hitler racists? And so anyway, that's all gone out now, and just sort of the creme de la creme. Willam Tell, I mean, he sort of, I mean, taxes and crop seizures. Okay, yeah. What are the real issues Willam Tell is fighting? Racism and misogyny. I'm surprised he's not wearing a rainbow flag. I mean, seriously, that is what we need. And why not? Why is Willam Tell homophobic? Excuse me. So this is the retelling of a famous European white classic sort of story. Again, it's getting the full the sledgehammer treatment. Why don't they do that to, say, African movies or Chinese movies or, you know, any movies elsewhere around the world? Why aren't they getting the same treatment? Why don't movies in India, you know, from the 1300s, why don't they feature sort of mostly white people? You know, in China, 1300s, why don't they feature mostly white people? Why isn't Shaka Zulu, you know, a white red-haired lesbian, for example? Why not? I mean, are we talking equity or not? But of course, the sledgehammer is only taken to white stories and white classic stories, and this is what's happened here with Willam Tell. It's very annoying. You've been with Tassos today, your pushback channel. Thank you for listening.